मग काय नाही, तुला जरा पण वाटत नाही काय? मला बरं वाटत नाही. काय खायला असेल तर मग घेऊन ये जा खाली. तुमच्याकडनं 5च्या नंतर माझं ट्युशन नाही. येताना घेऊन ये ना, मॅगी बिग्यान करून खा. समर्थ नको ना काहीतरी करू, असं नको करू रे, मला त्रास होतो ना समर्थ. हा. समर्थ माईक
Good afternoon to all. On behalf of the Academy, I welcome you all to day 8 of the Appendix 3 program. The topic for the day is earning budget. Today we are privileged to have Sri B.D. Christopher as our Deputy CCM, as our speaker for the topic. Now over to you, sir, and welcome to this session, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I hope I'm audible and clear to everybody.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Christopher, Deputy CCM, 2006 IRTS batch, and I worked as Deputy CCM. I've been working since last 3 years, and worked at CDSM Hyderabad for last 3.5 years. So I've been dealing a lot in freight matters, and also looking after the earnings budget also. So we actually prepare the targets and send it to board. So before that, I'm just I'll try to share my screen and run my PowerPoint. I'm going to explain to you what is earning budget. Thank you.
Sir, please unmute, sir. Sir, please unmute.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir.
So able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So the topic given today to me is earnings and budget. So what are the earnings and budget, and how important role does earning plays in budget presented by the Minister of Railways? Nowadays in February, Ministry of Finance is presenting the budget. So what are the earning, how it is prepared, how earnings are prepared, how target is prepared, I'm going to share with you today. And I hope this topic and subject will be useful to you. Any doubts, you can just write it down. At the end of the session, we can clarify and we can understand the subject better. And I hope that this presentation will be useful to all the participants. So what is budget? So let us define what is budget. So budget is a statement of the estimated annual receipts and expenditure, both on capital as well as revenue transactions of an organization. So to run an organization, we need to know what do we earn and how are we spending it. So for any organization, whether a small organization or big organization, we need to have this budget. So budget is a very important tool to understand the health of the organization and as well as running the organization. It is a process of planning and reviewing the activities of an organization. So it helps in planning and reviewing the activities of organization. So how do we plan things? So that's very important in running a healthy organization. And if you are failing somewhere, so somewhere in the middle, we have again review it and we'll try to re-estimate the planning and how to budget the expenditure and the earnings and how to estimate for the next coming year also. So that is what it helps in. So it's a statement of the estimated annual receipts and expenditure, both on capital as well as revenue transactions of an organization. It is a process of planning and reviewing the activities of an organization. So it helps in planning and running the organization in a healthy way. So before that, I'm just going to just give you some definitions of the points which I'm going to make. So railway administration, that is in preparation of budget, the principal chief commercial manager freight services. So is responsible for earnings estimate as they are in more touch with freight through marketing and sales organization and are responsible for regulating the rates and fares. So in the commercial department, CCM freight services is responsible for earning the estimate. So we prepare the earnings estimate because we are in touch with the freight people. So with the customers, and we know how much we are earning this year and how much is likely to be the earning next year based on the meetings we hold with them and based on the revenue receipts which we get, and we also are responsible for regulating rates and fares because we give a lot of decisions or a lot of recommendations of the policy matter railway board. So the rates and fares also regulated. So CCM is basically responsible for the preparation of earnings estimate. And he prepares the earnings estimate in regard to coaching, other coaching, goods and sundries, whereas the principal financial advisor, that is the PFA, prepares the estimates for suspense heads of gross receipts. So the PFA prepares the sundries, that is suspense account, and the CCM will prepare the earnings estimate because they are in touch with these respective heads. Two sets of estimates earnings should be prepared, one on the basis of originating earnings and with reference to apportioned earnings. So two sets of estimate earnings are prepared. One is based on the originating earnings and other is based on the apportioned earnings. So originating earnings mostly we prepare and apportioned earnings the PFA prepares. The revised estimate of earnings of the current year and the budget estimate for the next year are submitted at the same time railway board consisting of passenger earnings, other coaching earnings, goods earnings and sundry earnings. So as I told you earlier, the revised estimate of earnings for the current year and the budget estimate for the next year we submit to railway board, which consists of passenger earnings, other coaching earnings, goods earnings and sundry earnings. Okay, then coming to passenger earnings. So I explained to briefly the some terminology which we are involved in preparing the earnings estimate. So coming to now each point. So first let us go to the passenger earnings. Again, passenger earnings are bifurcated further. That is first AC, second AC, sleeper, etc. Similarly, other coachings are bifurcated as parcels, earnings of parcels, earnings of luggage, special trains, penalties, platform tickets, cancellation tickets, or whatever it is there. So they all constitute the other coaching earnings. Sundry earnings, they constitute rents and tools, commercial publicity, catering, etc. So as you're all aware that NFR, non-fare revenue, is now major bus stock, which is happening in the railway board, and it is also happening in all the divisions and zonal railways, because Ministry of Railways is now giving a lot of importance to non-fare revenue, and they've introduced a lot of policies based on the non-fare revenue, and that all constitute and part of the sundry earnings. This revised estimate and budget estimate for the next year has been revised for submission during September of current financial year instead of November, December as earlier by Railway Board number 2017. So earlier there was August review, now it has been discontinued. since 2017. Now there is no August review. So we prepare the budget for the next current financial year and the next year also during September. But why do you require earning budget? Earning budget is required to estimate the cash surplus after meeting the working expenses or even to meet the working expenses. So every home, for example, we live in a home, we have a small family, father, mother, children and all. So it is also a small company like a family also. So every month we prepare a budget. So the husband or the wife, we prepare the budget. How it's prepared? We see salaries, how much the husband gets, how much the wife gets, how much the children gets, and all we all sit together and see this is the earning for my family for the month. And we also put the expenses also. Expenses, working expenses. What are the working expenses? Like a rent we have to pay for the home loan, for the car loan, scooter loan, or milk, rations, everything. So we try to be, suppose 1 lakh is earning and 80,000 is expenditure, including your home loan, housing loan, all types of loans and groceries, children fees, tuition fees, medical health, everything. So they all constitute the working expenses. So what is the cash surplus? So that is our saving. So that is called cash surplus. So that is what earning budget is. So this cash surplus can be invested on projects to improve rail network and provide new lines for connectivity, run additional services, improve passenger amenities, etc. So likewise, what we do at home, suppose we get a bonus or we find some 10,000 rupees, we are saying because the wife also is working, she also working, suppose per month we are saving 20,000 rupees, then we try to invest to uplift, to increase our standard of living. So either we try to buy a new car, to buy a new fridge, or we try to buy a new dining table or furniture, or we try to have better standard of living. So likewise also in railways also, the surplus, cash surplus, because we need to improve the rail network and provides new lines, connectivity, run additional services, improve passenger amenities. So all these are very important for the railway to improve the standards and railways. So that cash surplus will be invested in such projects to provide new lines, connectivity, run additional services, improve passenger amenities. So all this kind of, especially passenger amenities. Now you find a sea change in the amenities provided at each station. Unlike like earlier time, we used to find a lot of dust, no amenities. Now you find a lot of amenities in the stations, like especially lifts, escalators, AC waiting halls, all beautiful waiting halls, everything you find in the now railway stations. So this cash surplus, whatever we are getting, we are investing in to improve the railway network. So that is what this earnings budget is very important. So what I'm trying to say is we should understand how the budget is prepared and how the budget is accounted and how it is helps us to improve the standard of living or to improve the standards of an organization. So before that, we'll go see, first of all, we know how does Indian Railways make money. So first is the freight earnings. As you're all aware, the freight earnings are very, very important. So because I've taken 2019 and 20, and you know, as you're all aware, that almost 60-65% we get through freight. So our bread and butter is goods traffic, the transportation of goods. So in 1920, because 2020 is a pandemic year, so because there is a lot of change, a lot of discrepancy, or we cannot take it as a standard measure. So 1920 would be a standard. So I've taken this in 1920. Indian Railways earned about 1,11,472 crores through freight earnings. So you can imagine the 60-70% of earnings come through freight. Next is passenger. So passenger, we could earn about 50,669 crores during 1920 from the sale of passenger tickets. So about 1,17,000 is freight. 50,669 crores is passenger. Next is sundry earnings. As I told you, all these sundry earnings, the catering, the non-fare revenue, advertisement, they all come under earnings. So sundry earnings that almost constitute 3 to 5%. That is, we have earned about 5,939 crores through sundry earnings. And next is other coaching earnings. So other coaching earnings is almost 2%, approximately around that. So that is luggage, parcels, as I told you, cancel your tickets and all, they all constitute the other coaching earnings. That is luggage, parcels. So we earned about 4,716 crores during 1920. So this is a summary. This is a basket of which we are earning. This is earning summary. So as I told you, 65% of earnings is through freight, 29% approximately is through passenger revenue. Sundry earnings is about approximately 3 to 4%, and other coaching is approximately 2.7%. So total earnings is about 1,74,694 crores is the total earning. So among them, 65% is the freight earnings, passenger is 29%, sundry is 3.4%, 2.7 is the other coaching earnings. So our concentration, our main bread and butter is freight earnings. So what we are losing through passenger, because mostly we are a social organization. Railway is not only a transport organization, but unlike a private organization, we also have social obligation to run trains where even though there is no earning, because of social obligation, we need to run trains in the unremunerative lines and unremunerated trains also. So whatever loss we are incurring in passenger, we are trying to offset through freight earnings. So freight earnings, we should never lose it, because now railways slowly, now road transportation is increasing leaps and bounds. You can find out a lot of NH national highways are now 6 lane or 8 lane, even 10 lane. Beautiful highways are being constructed. 40 tonners are running now. Slowly we are losing competition. So we are losing our freight to roads. So traffic is almost all earlier, after independence, still till 70s, 80s, we are almost 80%. We are monopoly in transportation. But later on, due to development of roads, beautiful development roads, and our flip-flop policy, and not proper care of the freight aspect, so we have lost it to road. Now we are only earning. I think we hardly 30% is the now our rail share in the complete complete transportation sector. The road is almost 60. Sea has captured, and the railways share has come down very drastically to almost 30% now. So in that also, in whatever we earn, also 65% is the freight earnings. So we should try to understand the importance of freight earnings. As other day, Minister of Railways, our new minister also has addressed all the general managers and DRMs, emphasizing the need that we should be hungry for cargo. So unless we shift our policies, unless we are very clear, it is very difficult for Indian Railways to sustain in the long run. So I'm going to show you in the coming slides also, and how does we earn a rupee and where does the rupee goes. So I prepared slides on that also to give you a broad picture how railways, how we are standing and how much is expenditure. So you'll find that most of our expenditure is going to staffs, salaries and costs. So it is very important, and we have everybody listening, and not only all railwaymen, each railwayman has a huge responsibility to sustain the organization. So if we don't contribute, and if you don't think out of box, the day will be very near. The day is very near that we're going to have tough times, and railways is at the crossroads now, whether to run commercially or run socially, or they're going to privatize and all. So there's a lot of discussion going on. So Minister was very clear in stating that we should try to concentrate and we should be very hunger for the cargo. So as I explained to you, what are the major sources of earnings railways? Passenger earnings, goods earnings, coaching earning, other coaching, and sundry earnings. So in this, what are the expenditure we are involved? We are trying to meet revenue and capital expenditure are being met from the above major source. So whatever we are incurring towards revenue and capital expenditure, from this source of earnings, we are trying to meet the expenditure. So what is revenue expenditure? Revenue expenditure means the expenditure incurred towards salaries, fuels, maintenance, all constitute the revenue expenditure. And what is capital expenditure? The capital expenditure is expenditure towards gauge conversions, construction of new lines, station development, tractions, etc. So all investment, basically investment, that is called capital investment, capital expenditure, like gauge conversion, new lines, doubling, station development, amenities, All these are capital expenditure. And whatever the expenditure towards salaries, fuels, and maintenance, that is called revenue expenditure. So both these expenditures are met now through this earnings. So whatever we earning to passenger earnings, coaching earnings, goods earnings, and Sunday earnings. So that now we can understand what is the importance of this earnings budget. So the earnings budget has a prominent role to play because it is a major chunk of the earnings for which we need to meet our not only salaries, not only run the trains, not only maintain the trains, but also new lines, double lines, station development, traction, lot of expenditure is involved. So the budget, earning budget plays a very prominent role. So whatever is surplus earnings will be contributed to the contingency fund of India. So coming to passenger earnings, as I told you earlier, that almost constitute now 10% of the earnings. This is now till March. I've given 1920. Now till March 21. Now it's 20% now. So suburban and non-suburban. Again, passenger earnings are divided into two sectors. One is suburban, other is non-suburban. Suburban is first class and general class passengers. Non-suburban, first AC, second AC, third AC, first class, sleeper class, second sitting passenger earnings. So all these constitute the non-suburban sector. The first suburban, first class, mostly omnibus trains, metro trains, all these constitute the suburban. So non-suburban, these are the heads: first AC, second AC, third AC, first class, sleeper class, second seat. Now we find third AC also other 83 coach, new third AC coach also has come. So all this will constitute the passenger earnings. So other coaching is, as I told you earlier, parcels, luggage, special trains, military specials, penalties imposed by ticket checking staff, platform tickets, cloakroom charges, postal charges, cancellation clerkage charges, identity cards, demurrage wharfage, and miscellaneous. So all these constitute the other coaching earnings. Clear? Coming to goods earnings. So 86% now, since in the pandemic, our goods earnings as the major chunk, because passenger earnings we have not run much. So just for the end of March 21, I'm just giving you a figure. We have almost 86% constituted the earnings. So Friday earnings received through coal, cement, iron ore, food grains, fertilizers, petroleum products, container services, raw materials for steel plants, and others. And miscellaneous goods earnings. So demurrage, wharfage, stacking charges, siding charges, trip charges, shunting charges. All these also constitute the miscellaneous goods earnings. So miscellaneous goods earnings also contribute to Friday earnings. So Friday earnings not only from the above coal, cement, iron ore, etc., but also miscellaneous, demurrage, wharfage also. They also constitute the goods earnings. Apart from, I said 3% will be Sunday earnings. So what are Sunday earnings? Rents and tolls, non-fare revenue, as I told you earlier, NFR, catering, parking, ATMs, paid use toilets, commercial publicity, etc. So all this will constitute Sunday earnings. So hope I'm clear. First is passenger earnings, next is goods earnings, next is other coaching earnings, and Sunday earnings. So all these four items constitute the earnings for Indian Railways. So how is this earning estimate is prepared? Estimates of earnings are prepared taking into account the originating earnings and apportioned earnings. As I told you earlier, these two together constitute the earnings aspect. So originating and apportioned earnings. This includes adjustments with other railways and other government departments. And what are I'm going to tell you what is originating, what is apportioned earnings also in the coming slides. So what are physical parameters? Passengers, number of passengers, originating passengers, passenger kilometers, lead. These constitute the passenger estimates. Loading in million tons, NDKMs, lead. This constitute the freight estimates. So relation from these Sunday debtors also, power house also, they pay a lot of demurrage wharfage also. That is also, when we realize that also is part of the earning budget. So earning budget constitutes the earning budget, that is estimates for earning budget constitute originating earnings and apportionments. And what are the parameters? Passengers, number of passengers, that is originating, passenger kilometers, PKMs, and lead. In case of freight, loading in million terms, NDKMs and lead. And also suspense account, that is outstanding. Relation from the outstanding dues. This also constitute earnings. The estimates for passenger goods traffic are prepared separately under headings originating, received, and carried. Then the total is cast. So under heading of originating earnings, we prepare this separately for passenger and goods, both received and carried. The detailed working sheet on the passenger traffic, goods traffic, other coaching traffic, and above headings are sent to traffic accounts office. We prepare the working sheet. And how do we classify this earning budget? That is, I told you this: abstract X, abstract Y, abstract Z. There are three abstracts, and these earning budgets are classified in three. That is, abstract X is for passenger traffic, other coaching traffic. So that is 91. So passengers, these are accounted in under minor head, again 100, subheads 110, ordinary full fares, 120 ordinary reduced fares, 130 military passengers, 140 reservation charges. Other coaching, these are accounted under minor head 200. That is special trains and reserve carriers, 300 is luggage, 400 is parcel, 500 is other coaching earnings, 600 is transport of postal office mails, 700 is miscellaneous coaching receipts, 800 is deductions, refunds of earnings collected. So these all constitute the passenger and other coaching traffic. That is class from abstract 91, and again sub minor heads 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. I explained to you what are the various subheads and minor heads also. And abstract Y. So there is goods traffic. That is 91. 91 is coaching, other coaching, and 92 is, that is abstract Y, that is goods traffic. So goods traffic minor head 100, coal and coke, POL. 200 is general merchandise, container traffic, food grains and fertilizers. 300 is military traffic. 400 is livestock. 500 is raw material for steel plants. 600 is miscellaneous goods earnings. That is demurrage, warfare, storage, etc. 700 is goods earnings received from road service, the containers and all. 800 is refunds for earnings collected, overcharges, whatever overcharges, that's all. So this all constitute the Y, abstract Y. So abstract X is coaching and other coaching, abstract Y is goods traffic, that is 91, there is 92, and abstract Z is 93. That is Sunday earnings. Sunday earnings minor head 100, military traffic 200, rent and doors 300, catering 400, overcharges and profits recovered from work done outside parties, sales of stores 500, sales and proceeds unclaimed damaged goods, gross and trace. On the line 600 miscellaneous advertisements, interest and maintenance. Now 600 also is now further subdivided. That is NFR. Latest also it has come. When I'm going to share this NFR and other, if a class is there, then I'm going to share this NFR also. So in the 600 class now they have given Railboard recently has given subheads also. The NFR has given in 600. 700 is reimbursement of operating loss on strategic lines. 800 is refunds on earnings collected. So this is how the classification X, Y, Z, 91, 92, and 93. I've given subheads also, and each commodity is accounted in these heads. As I told you, there are two types of earnings. One is originating, other is apportion. Hope I'm clear, able to understand, and I hope I'm not rushing it and my voice is audible. I'm just, I hope you're understanding. Okay. Originating earnings. Originating earnings. What is originating earnings? Earnings reckoned for coaching traffic and goods traffic from originating station to destination station, which also evaluates the performance of zonal railway, for example, South Central Railway. So in order to evaluate the performance of a South Central Railway, if I know what are the originating earnings of coaching and goods, I can understand what is the performance of that railway. That is from the originating destination, that OD, originating destination. So whatever the earnings I get from the traffic originating to South Central Railway and towards the destination, and whatever the earnings that is originating, wherever the traffic originates, that is called originating earnings. So what are the money I'm getting from the traffic that is started from on South Central Railway? These are called originating earnings. Earnings reckoned in respect of other coaching and sundries realized on the zonal railway. So whatever other coaching sundries, whatever I realize on the zonal railway, that is also reckoned. Coming to apportion earnings. So what are apportion earnings? Earnings apportioned on the basis of the distance negotiated in the jurisdiction of that zonal railway, whether it is coaching or goods. So this is also a very important aspect. See, the earnings apportioned on the basis of distance negotiated in jurisdiction of the railway. So even a traffic, suppose the traffic originates somewhere in Southeastern Railway and terminates in Southern Railway or Southwestern Railway, but passes through South Central Railway. So whatever the kilometer on which it is passed on South Central Railway, that kilometer is divided, and whatever the earnings that has traveled on this particular kilometer, that is apportioned to the particular zonal railway. That is, total distance traveled oblique transported will be proportionately distributed to zonal railways as per the distance negotiated in that particular railway. Suppose the distance from Southeastern Visakhapatnam to Chennai. So Visakhapatnam is East Coast Railway. It passes via South Central Railway and ends in Southern Railway. Say the distance of 1,000 kilometers is there. So 1,000 kilometers mostly is traveling. Says it is traveling in East Coast, say 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers in South Central, and 100 kilometers in Southern Railway. So for 400 kilometers, so what is the earning they got? So proportion 1,000 kilometers again is proportionately the amount is distributed as per the distance negotiated in that particular railway. So that is apportion earnings. So originating earnings is whatever the earning received on account of originating on that particular railway, the traffic which is originated, that is originating railway. Apportion is whatever the earnings which traveled or transported on the particular zonal railway, that is apportion. That is on the distance negotiated on that railway, that is called apportion earnings. So hope I'm clear about the originating earnings and the originating earnings and the apportion earnings. So I explained to you what is the major what is the major earnings, what is earnings, and how does where does Indian Railways stand, and how do we get our earnings, from where do we get, and how these earnings which is the major chunk of the earnings, and how this earnings helps in estimating the performance of the zonal railway, and how what are the parameters involved in preparation estimation of these earnings, and what is originating earnings and what is apportion earnings. So these are things which I have explained to you. So in the coming slides, I'm going to explain further about the budget earnings. The targets for achieving earnings. So Indian Railways fixes earning targets for each financial year under each head. That is, we are giving target for passenger, goods, other coaching, and sundry. For all these items, for all these heads, Indian Railways fix the targets and they are transmitted to each zonal railway and to the divisions to achieve the targets. So target of passenger, coming to passenger earnings. Current year indicators like leads, rates, and number of passengers are being taken to work out the earnings of each zone. Lead and rates are taken into consideration on the weighted average. I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you the calculation sheet, how we calculate the target of passenger. And target for goods earnings, current year indicators like leads, rates, and loading in million tons are taken to fix the targets for each line. So number of passengers, lead, and rates. These are important items for, these are important parameters for fixing the targets for passenger and freight. So for other coaching and sundries, Railway Board will fix it target for each railway based on the past performance. Service-wide advice originating earning. I'm just going to show. I'll just show you how did we perform in the last year. 3,748 in 17-18, 4,018-19 was a very good year, because 18-19 was a golden period, we can say, where we earned a lot. 19-20 in passenger we invested substantially. But 2021, because of the pandemic, you can find we have earned very less. That is 975 crores. Other coaching is less, 286 crores, 318 crores, 314 crores, 170 crores. Goods, see 9,260 crores on South Central Railway what we have earned, 10,954 crores we won in 1819, 9,020 is 1920, 9,029, 2021 is 8,498 crores. So goods, because we have been running, even in spite of the COVID, we have been running goods trains, we have not stopped. So we've earned, even though a lot of other transporters were affected. So Indian Railways continued to run because of the emergency and the essential commodity we have moved. So we've earned about 8,498 crores on South Central Railway. The Sunday's earnings, we got 268 crores, 345 crores, 307, 260 crores. Total 1,35 crores. This is what South Central Railway has earned for the last 3 years. Coming to originating earnings, end of July, I'm just giving you South Central Railway figures. The passengers earnings 2021, as I told you, because of the pandemic, we got very less. That is, we got into minus also. End of July, this minus is because we have given a lot of refunds. Even though we didn't earn, we've given a lot of refunds. That's why we're showing minus 33 crores. 2021 actuals 56 crores. Variation is actually this is 1920.
Sir, it's 1920.
Yeah, this is 2022. This is 2122 actually. This is shown as 2122. 2021 is 2122. We have shown normally. So 2021 is a pandemic year, and 2122 till July we have got 586 crores already. So percentage 18.7 crores. Other coaching we have seen we have increased end of July because now we are all the trains we are running 387 is a percentage. Goods we are doing substantially well. We are trying to do better than 1920 also. So 3,359. So our target is 117 million tons on South Central Railway this year. So we are trying to achieve. So general manager is we are holding a meeting, lot of meetings, meetings, and lot of meetings are taking place internally and externally also. All the divisions are working very hard. We are hoping to reach the not only 1920 earnings, but we want to improve further on that. So 58% more we have increased over last year. Sundays we are less because the trains are not stalls. Catering is basically we've lost on that. So total we have increased 4,141 crores. Apportion earnings. So apportioning always will be much more because the rail transported is divided proportionately. So 5,166, 5,295. So we've done 36 crores. Say 160 crores. Other coaching 9,293 crores. 260 crores, 10. This is just for giving an idea as how South Central has performed. I just want to show you how this earnings play important role in preparing the budget. And what is the performance? And coming to service-wide apportionings, passenger other coaching goods. The end of July, that was the last year wise. Now I've just prepared a slide to show the end of July. So end of July, see April to July again we are doing very well. Other coaching also we're doing well. Goods also we're doing very well. And Sundays also we're doing. Sunday, of course, I told you catering still we are going to improve. So variation is almost 116%. We are doing much more than 2021. So again, I'm going to show you the commodity wise, just to have an idea how each commodity. So as you all accounts department, accounts people, we need to know the performance of each commodity, how important it is for us, how do we assess and how do we monitor each commodity and what is the performance. So coming to coal actually. So I'm going to show you this, how do you prepare this target. As I told you, how this earnings is, how this target is prepared. So this worksheet I'm going to explain to you. It will be very useful to you in understanding how this earning target is fixed. Commodity wise, coal actual loading in million tons is 40 millions in 2021. In 21-22, the target given is 57.3 millions. This is given by Railway Board. 2021 actual earnings in crores is 3,404. This is the actual loading. This is the actual earnings. And adopted lead, this is also accounts department will give us that is end of March 2021, 368 kilometers is a lead for the coal, 368 kilometers. And the NDKMs is equal to D into B, that is lead into the target, that is 368 into 57.3. This is the estimated NTKMs which we have to run. How the target is fixed. So adapted rate per TKM end of March 20, we already have this accounts department will give us, that is 2.13. This is adapted rate per TKM. Adapted rate per TKM is 2.13. So expected earnings for 2020, how do we estimate is G. G is expected earnings for next year, that is 21-22. We are expecting that E into F. E is NTKMs into F is adapted rate. So NTKMs into rate, that is 4,491.35 crores. We are expecting from coal alone. So this is how we expect we calculate the earnings estimate, the target. This is how target is fixed for the next year. 4,491 crores is the target fixed. Because iron ore now we are not moving earlier because of the policy now South Central is not moving iron ore. This is the figure. This calculation is for South Central only, but I have given this slide for you to understand how these targets are fixed. Then RMS plants. So 130 crores. Same, G is equal to E into F divided by 10. 10 is because to convert to million tons. One is million tons, one is in crores. RMS plants 130.62. Cement 2,605. Food grains 1294. Fertilizers 602. P oil 70. Container 170. Others 1031. Total target given for South Central Railway is 10,397.28 crores for goods. So this is the expected earnings and target fixed for the South Central Railway. So the target fixed for South Central Railway is this way. So you can see the coal is a major part. Almost it is 40-50% is coal almost. So 4,491. Next is cement. Next is food grains. So in South Central, the bulk of the commodity is coal, cement, food grains, and others. Others inside granite, laterite. So these are all the major contributors. 1,031 crores. So this is how the target is fixed. So coal is plays a very major important role in freight, not only South Central Railway. It plays a very important role in all over Indian Railways. So Indian Railways is largely dependent on the coal, or otherwise coal is mostly transported through Indian Railways. So now coal is not going to last much, so we should devise ways and methods to shift to other categories of transportation. So this I've explained to you how the target is calculated. Now I'm going to tell you how the originating number of passengers is calculated. So even though Railway Board gives this, but this is what they do. I've just taken 18, 19, 19, 20. This is only for making you understand how this originating number of passengers are calculated. So for example, for estimating in 1920, I'll take last year 18-19 basis. So originating first 5 months already know April to August figures, that is 163 million passengers have traveled, that is originated for the first 5 months, April to August, 163.14. Then next 7 months, that is September to March, what are the next 7 months passengers which have carried, that is 219.56. That is the originating number of passengers. And next 12 months, that's April to March, I'll add both this A plus B. I have calculated, I have this many of 380 millions of passengers originated. This is last year figure. This figure already have readily available with me. Okay, so what is the ratio between so for 12 months and 7 months? The ratio is 1.35. 382 divided by 219. So based on the last year figures, now I'm going to share next year that how I'm going to estimate the number of passengers. See, 1920, that means as I told you that August review, we'll be doing reviews from September onwards. So April to August is that figure I have already, 158 billion. This figure I already have, this first 5 months. So next 5 months, how do we calculate? the ratio of first 5 months to next 7 months, that is 1.3. Same is applied to first 5 months of 2019 to get a forecast of next 7 months of 2019. So the total. So this amount I have multiplied this figure I got by multiplying 1.35 into 158.584. So 1.35 into 158, I got 213 for the next 7 months. So first 5 months I already have this. First 5 months I already have this 1.35 ratio I calculated based on the last year figures. That is B by A, and multiplying the first 5 months with 1.35, I have calculated what is my originating for the next 7 months. That is from September to March. So the total originating earnings which I am expecting to earn for the complete year is 372. That is 158 plus 213. That is 372 millions. Got the point? So the ratio of first 5 months to next 7 months of 2018-19 is 1.35. The same is applied first 5 months of 1920 to get forecast for the next 7 months of 1920, so that the total forecast number of passengers for 1920 will be arrived. So this is just, I want to show you the figures, how suppose we are in 1920, how it is calculated, how the originating number of passengers for the complete year is estimated. I've just given you a calculation sheet. I am showing the number of passengers. Now the earnings. How do we calculate the earnings? Similarly, total originating number of passengers to the end of March 2020 is 372. Actual lead to the end of August is 254. The lead is 254. Adopted lead to the end of March 2020 is 254 again. I have adopted this lead only. Actual rate per PKM to the end of August, this is given by Accounts Department, 0.49. This same thing I have adopted, rate per PKM is 0.49. So the earnings to the end of March is A into C into E. That is total number of passengers to end of March 2020. That's what we have earned. 372.012. This is the earnings which were estimated, and this is the actual lead to the end of August, first 5 months. This is the actual lead which I have got. So lead number of passengers into lead into rate per PKM. So number of passengers into lead into rate per PKM. This is the total earning I get, 4,630 crores, which I'll be earning at the end of the year. This is how this estimation of passengers is done and estimation of the originating earnings is calculated. Hope I'm clear. So what are the Indian Railways coming? Just I explained to you the South Central aspect. The Indian Railways actual earnings for end of July. I want to show you the pie diagram. As I told you earlier, the goods earnings are 83% in 2021. So end of July, there is 2021-22. That is till July, we have earned 83% is goods, 11% is passenger, 2% is other coaching, 4% is sundry. So the major chunk that is reflected in this purple pie. So that is a major chunk is the goods. Next is the passenger. Otherwise, sundry and this. South Central Railway earnings to end of July 2021, we got 81% through passengers, through goods, 14% through passengers, 2% through sundry, and 3% other coaching. So this is what South Central earned. The earliest slide shown Indian Railways. This is what Indian South Central has earned. The end of July. I'm just trying to make you understand that you should get into your mind that the goods plays a very important role in the earnings estimate. So as I told you that Indian rupee, I just want to again show you that from where do we get this money? Suppose a 1 rupee comes. So 1 rupee what we earn is 1 rupee, say, for example, the goods we earn about 63 paisa we get from the goods. 28 paisa we get from the passenger. 6 paisa we get from the sundry. 3 paisa almost we get from the other coach. So 64 paisa is a very, very huge money, the goods. So again, I'm trying to emphasize that goods plays a very important role in the earnings of Indian Railways. So we will think, even though we are running a huge number of 6,000 passenger trains, we are about covering about 7,000 stations. So it is a huge, almost the 5th biggest railways in the world. And Indian Railways, we have a huge PRS system, if not the best PRS system in the world. And many of the things that we get money from the passengers, no. And somebody think we get money from the parcels, no. We get most of the money, most of the freight from the goods, almost 64%, 63% we're getting from the goods. So slowly, now again in the goods, I have told you about 50% is coal. Now coal we are slowly shifting because thermal, government of India has made it a point that we are not going to have further thermal plants. So slowly they're shifting to solar, other means green energy. So we have a very, very important role, a very crucial, we are passing through a very crucial phase, and a lot of ideas are required, and a lot of transformation has to take place, and a lot of good out-of-box thinking has to take place. And we have to think very, very quickly, very good, very important ideas that we need to submit to Railway Board. We need to come out, not only officers, everybody has to get involved, because if we lose the goods, as I told you, the roadways have improved drastically, tremendously, multifold, with 40 tonners that are moving by road now. And there's coming on the introduction of GST also. Now the toll gates are not there. So the goods are moving in faster time, in a shorter time, in a cheaper time, door-to-door delivery. So a lot of advantages are there. So we have found, that's why I told you that now railways is only having 30% of the total transportation share, what we are running. So other day when Honorable MR was speaking to all general managers and all the DRMs, he was saying that almost 11,000 tons, 11 million tons, I think 11 million, 1100 million tons are 11,000 million tons are moving on. The transportation is there. Among that, only 1,200 million tons is Indian Railways figure. So what we are transporting very, very less. So MR was he has opened the e-portal, that's the eBay bill portal, and he was showing that so much of commodities are moving by road, by sea, and other things. So, but out of 11,000 million tons, only 1,200 million tons is railway able to catch up. So there's a huge capacity, huge scope is there for the railways to improve. So we should try to make efforts to try to contribute more and try to increase our goods share. Otherwise, getting salaries also will be difficult. I'm going to share you the expenditure aspect. See the 2020, this how did rupee go? So I've told you that 44% is going towards staff salaries. So whatever we earn, 44 paisa is going towards staff salaries. Pension 26%. So 46 plus 44 plus 26 is almost 70% we are losing on staff cost and expenditure. So what is that we are going to save? And what is it surplus earnings? Nothing. 12% is going towards fuel. IRFC is 8%. Lease charges. So a lot of money we take from the IRFC for loans to run the show. 8% we have to pay the lease charges. DRF we have to pay. Miscellaneous expenditure 2%. Repairs and maintenance 8%. So what is that we are going to save? What is the surplus amount? Nothing. In fact, our operating ratio is increasing by leaps and bounds, especially with the pandemic and also. So the future is very bleak. The future is very uncertain. So unless there is an out-of-box thinking, unless there is a paradigm shift from road to rail, unless we earn more, unless our earnings increase and the staff cost is curtailed or the pension is properly now, of course, from 2004 onwards, there is no pension. But still for that, we have the expenditure which we are incurring are huge, huge, huge. No private organization will run. Suppose the organization given to Tata's, Birlas, and some other, it's very difficult for them to run because they look at the remunerated lines only. Earning. So they look at, suppose the trains are privatized. They want to take only very important from Hyderabad to say Andhra Pradesh, from Hyderabad to Delhi, Hyderabad to Howrah, Hyderabad to Mumbai. These are all the very important sectors. They take that. But Kakinada to Kotipalli, who will take? Karnal Narsapur, who is going to run? Hyderabad to Kurnool, Basar. So all these trains which are having very low patronage, it's very difficult for us to run the trains in the coming future. We're going to lose heavily on this. So what my emphasis now, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can see the expenditure on staff costs and pension. They almost consider 70% of earnings. So the revenue expense is very heavy, and we have to curtail that also. And fuel expense also. Now the railways are making a lot of investment in electrifying the tracks. So this also has to come down. The fuel has to come down. Now we can see latest hydrogen trains are getting. We are trying to experiment running on hydrogen fuel also. So that is how we are trying to. Our railway scientists itself, they are trying to run trains on hydrogen also, on solar also, and also on electric. So this also has to reduce. The expenditure pension also has to come down. The staff also has to come down, and we have to earn more. So social obligation, we cannot increase the passenger trains, and we cannot increase the freight. Somebody may say, yes, I thought freight increase kar sakte na. Kar sakte, magar road rates, if you increase now, fortunately because of the fuel increase, the fuel expenses, now slowly rail rates are become cheaper, little cheaper, not much. So even though we are little higher now, slowly we are trying to, traffic is coming to rail. We are trying to market the commodities. We are trying to do some micromanagement also. Now we are trying to hold meetings with the customers. Every day, CCM, PCCM, PCOM, general manager, we are trying to speak to the customers daily and saying, what is the rail coefficient? No, rail coefficient. No? So what is rail coefficient? Rail coefficient, nothing but suppose a company is having producing 100 million tons. And we find most of the cement customers, they are moving almost 70% of their commodity by road. Only 30%. Rail coefficient is only 30%, 40%. So GM is asking why they're not able to come on by rail. You try to devise concession methods. You try to give them more concession. You try to reduce the handling expenses. You try to give some benefit to them and try to attract traffic. So since the road rate now increased, we are trying to talk to them and try to shift them to rail. So that is what important. So we have to earn now our salaries now. The time has come now to earn our salaries. So it is very important for the each railway man to rise up and to understand the earnings aspect, the budget, how we are budgeting, how we are preparing the budget, and what are the expenses we are incurring, and what is the railway we are saving. So these are all very important aspects going into running an organization, such a huge organization like Indian Railways. No, almost 13 lakh employees we have. So everyday cash is, of course, this is what I wanted to say about the budget aspect, and how do we earn a rupee, and where does a rupee go? I try to understand, make you understand. So this is my pie charts. The collection remittance on cash. So every day, how this cash, just for you to understand. Suppose somebody is new to railways and how the cash is collected. Cash is collected booking offices, goods offices. They're taken to respective cash books. The same is being handled to normally cash clerks, prepare challans and submit bank along with the cash. So these are these are being collected the booking, and bank will acknowledge 2 copies will be given to railway clerk. The railway clerk will prepare 2 copies of CR notes, 1 challan, and others to zonal office of scrutiny and the count of the cash. The same is being acknowledged by chief cash in the remarks. If any return runs a copy with them, another copy will be sent to concerned office. So this is only just to make an idea how the cash is remitted and how it is accounted in the railways. Now, of course, doorstep banking also has come now. So we are trying to tie with the SBI and try to collect cash through SBI also. And how this CR note is accounted in the balance sheet. This is what I'm just trying to understand. Make you on this slide. I've just shown you to how this money is accounted in the goods and the coaching booking office. As I told you, the surplus amount, whatever surplus, suppose you find some little surplus, we are going to contribute to the Consolidated Fund of India. So what is Consolidated Fund of India? Consolidated Fund of India is the most important of all government accounts, revenues received by the ministries, including railways, ministry expense made by it. The exceptional items are part of the consolidated. So consolidated fund is not even consolidation of fund. So all the government funds revenues received ministries, they are contributed to this fund. That is called this fund was constituted Article 266 of the Constitution of India. All government expenditure is made from this fund. Investment on railway projects like gauge conversions, laying of new lines, electrical tractions, station development, etc. So all this also from this consult, we are trying to get some funds not only from the DRF, not only from the IRFC, but also from the consolidated fund of India also. Now, since the budget is merged now Finance Ministry is trying to meet all this expenditure. After meeting all the operating expenditure, provision for accommodation reserves for various apportionments, the leftover profits will be remitted to Consult Fund API as dividend from the Ministry of Railways. So whatever the money which after, as I told you, after meeting the revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure, any leftover amount is there, then we are going to remit this profit to the Consult of India, which in turn will finance the projects like gauge conversions and laying up new lines. So this is all the content, not only Indian Railways, all the ministries, including railways, contribute to this Consolidated Fund of India. And this is constituted under Article 266 of the Constitution of India. And what are the internal resources? There are two types of resources generated in Indian Railways. One is internally, other is external. So internal generation of funds, reserves are accumulated over the years annually. It gets accumulated for meeting the capital expenditure, expansion programs like construction of new lines, gauge conversions, station development, electrical tractions, doubling of lines, and amenities of goods, etc. So whatever the reserves are accumulate annually for meeting this is internal generation of funds. So I told you that one is internal, that is whatever money we get through our earnings, and whatever the money which we try to save some money after meeting the expenditure, capital expenditure, we are trying to generate internal sources and to meet the expenditure for expansion program like construction, new lines, gauge conversions, station development, electrical doubling. This is all capital investment. So what are the internal generation resources, whatever we get, we are trying to meet this expenditure. And external, so we not only we get internal funds all support also, but external funds all, because railways, huge expenditure. If you see the budget, I don't have time, but if you see the budget booklet, so many lakhs of crores of amount is required to meet the construction of new lines, construction of bridges, doubling, traction, procurement of coaches, procurement of wagons, all these things. So a lot of money is required for this. So for this, we need external support also. These funds are generated from the support of Ministry of Finance and external borrowings through issue of bonds or borrowings from the World Bank, IMF, etc. So through bonds also we get Ministry of Finance support. We get borrowings from the World Bank, IMF, ADB. So such kind of external support also we require. So now lot of infrastructure development is required. So if the infrastructure is not there, it is very difficult to provide the world-class facility to railways to passengers. Recently, now we are finding station development plans. Now, Indian Railways have identified about 100 stations which are world-class stations. Now, Habibganj stations, for example, you find in Bhopal, you find it's almost like a 5-star station. A 5-star hotel also is built in the station. To transform the railways, to transform the Indian Railways, we need funds. We need external funds. Bullet train, for example, Ahmedabad to Mumbai, we need funds. The government of Japan is funding it. So the railways need to transform. The railways need to change. Otherwise, we're going to stuck up, and it's very difficult for us to run the organization, because now only you can find a lot of transportation. The amenities provided to passing, especially for go to Secunderabad station. The station is last 10 years almost. I've seen a lot of transformation. You can find it like almost like an airport now in Secunderabad station. You find massage chairs, you find LED boards, you find you can check your BP, you can check your sugar. That is health center is there. You can find online tracking of your train. GPS is there. you can find AC waiting halls, you can find newspapers, you can find RO water. Lot of development is there now in the stations now. This is all because of the funds which we are getting, and we are trying to get more money and try to invest more money. So we just excuse me, one minute. Hello. 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 Morning, Bashar. Busy, yeah? Okay, then class. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. So this is about the funds. And so what are the budgetary exercises impact of measures introduced? The freight incentive schemes are there. So a lot of schemes have introduced by Indian Railways through these incentive schemes. I told you, because to attract traffic, we need a lot of policy changes. Not recently, for the last 2-3 years, we find a lot of policy changes are there to attract this traffic. These are the few incentive schemes: automatic freight rebate scheme, long-term LTTC scheme, busy season surcharge, remote now round tariff concession is there. Inside fly ash 40% concession given, shorted 15% concession given, long lead traffic concession is given, terminal access charge is removed for containers now, permissible carriage capacity is now changed for pet coke. Now earlier 68, now it's become 63. Incentive scheme for loading back consigned open wagons 15-20%, penalty for overloading, minimum number of wagons, availing train load benefit, supplementary charge, distance of operation mini rake. So all these concessions, all these new policies have been formulated and given to the customer, to the industry. Now we are trying to attract more and more traffic towards all these schemes and measures introduced by the Ministry of Railways. Again, coming to classification, I told you this is a repetition: abstract X, abstract Y, abstract Z, that is annual coaching, goods and Sunday earnings. So thank you. This is what which I wanted to say, and I hope this is very useful. And there is every need for each of our railwaymen to rise up now to understand what is earning, what is budget, and what is the main constituents of budget, and which are the main heads which contribute the budget, and how it's estimated, and how it is estimated for the next year, and what are the major items which constitute the budget earnings, how do we calculate it, and how the rupee comes and how the rupee goes, and what are the incentive schemes, and what are the policies adopted to the railways, and how we are trying to improve the earnings. So thank you. I hope this presentation is useful to all of you, and hope that it will be really a useful presentation to you all. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It is already shared in the Zoom chat box. Sir. Participants, please raise your hand if ask any queries. First one, Vikramjit Mitra. Please unmute and speak to faculty. Vikramjit Mitra.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is apportioned earnings? Please fill out Hindi, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, हिंदी में सर जरा बताइएगा ये apportioned earnings के बारे में.
अपोर्शन अर्निंग्स वही बताया ना, एक है ऑरिजिनेटिंग है अपोर्शन जो होता है, जैसा आप कहां से हैं, आप किधर से किधर है, कौन सा रेलवे का?
हम ईस्टर्न रेल का सर.
ईस्टर्न रेलवे में. ठीक है, ईस्टर्न रेलवे में सपोज हावड़ा है.
हाँ सर.
तो हावड़ा से जैसे साउथ सेंट्रल आने एक गाड़ी चल रहा है, गुड्स ट्रेन चल रहा है हावड़ा से सिकंदराबाद के लिए. तो हावड़ा ईस्टर्न रेलवे से आएगा ईस्ट कोस्ट रेलवे, ईस्ट कोस्ट रेलवे से साउथ सेंट्रल आएगा ना गाड़ी.
यस सर.
तो कितना किलोमीटर चलेगा?
हाँ सर.
अपोच से 1000 किलोमीटर है, तो ईस्ट में चलेगा 300 किलोमीटर और ईस्ट कोस्ट में चलेगा 500 किलोमीटर.
यस सर.
तो और 200 किलोमीटर चलेगा साउथ सेंट्रल में. जैसा किलोमीटर ट्रैवल किया है उसके मुताबिक ये अर्निंग अपोर्शन किया जाएगा.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
ये ऑरिजिनेटिंग जो है, जैसे आपका ट्रैफिक जहां से ऑरिजिनेट होता है, जहां से स्टार्ट होता है, उसका अर्निंग जो है उसको ऑरिजिनेटिंग बता दे. जो ट्रैवल किया है, ट्रांसपोर्ट किया गया, वो अपोर्शन डिवाइड किया जाएगा एज पर द डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल बाय द फ्राइट ट्रेन.
मेरा एक और क्वेश्चन है सर.
हाँ जी.
Is it feasible to calculate the earnings budget correctly in Indian Railway? Accurately, actually?
हाँ, क्यों नहीं? We go as per the gross earning statement ना.
सर ऐसे कि जैसे मैंने हम अर्निंग माने अर्निंग्स अगले साल का अर्निंग्स फिक्स कर रहा है सर।
हाँ
जैसे माने पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन आ गया, हम
हाँ।
लोगों का अर्निंग्स घट गया सर।
हाँ
इसे
हाँ
इसे
हाँ
तो situation आ ही
हाँ
सकता है।
हाँ, जैसा अनयूजुअल हो तो उसका एक मुश्किल हो सकता है, बिकॉज वी कैलकुलेट बेस्ड ऑन द लास्ट ईयर परफॉर्मेंस, इट मे नॉट बी द एक्यूरेट बिकॉज ऑफ द अनयूजुअल सिचुएशन। जैसा पैंडेमिक हो गया, अर्थक्वेक हो गया, तो उसको भी डोंट एंटिसिपेट नेक्स्ट ईयर ना। सपोज आई से बिकॉज पैंडेमिक 19 सपोज 2021 में पैंडेमिक आ गया, ये कोविड आ गया, तो गाड़ी हम लोग लेस चलाए, कि मतलब ये नहीं होता कि अगले साल भी वही पैंडेमिक आएगा। सो सपोज ये पैंडेमिक ईयर का एस्टिमेट लिया है मैं, so it will not be accurate if I do the same thing for the next year.
ठीक सर।
That is an unusual occurrence.
Yeah. Next, Ajay Rawat, please unmute and speak. Yeah, Ajay Rawat. Yeah, next, Ankita De, please unmute and speak. Ankita De.
Yes, sir. I didn't ask any question.
Yeah, please ask. That is it.
Sir. Class, I can say just 5 minutes. I can say. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Right. Haji, please tell me. Yeah, madam, please go ahead.
Yeah, please tell me. Yeah, please ask your query. The next, Vicky, please unmute and speak. Mr. Vicky.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, please tell.
सर अर्निंग्स को बजट अर्निंग्स पे गुड्स अर्निंग और पैसेंजर कोचिंग रेवेन्यू क्यों लिखा हुआ था वहां पर?
हाँ जी।
डायग्राम में।
हाँ जी।
सर डायग्राम जो था उसमें एक जगह पर गुड्स अर्निंग्स लिखा हुआ था और पैसेंजर रेवेन्यू लिखा हुआ था। कोचिंग
रेवेन्यू करना चाहिए था। इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल रेवेन्यू।
ये दोनों हम लोग समझ नहीं पाए। अर्निंग्स वहां लिखा हुआ था, यहाँ रेवेन्यू क्यों लिखा हुआ था?
नहीं, वो गलत है। पैसेंजर रेवेन्यू बता रहे, गुड्स रेवेन्यू एंड पैसेंजर रेवेन्यू से करेक्ट टर्मिनोलॉजी नाउ।
और एक क्वेश्चन है सर।
हाँ जी
सर, लीड्स का मतलब क्या होता है?
लीड वही बता रहा ना। सी लीड मींस ए कमोडिटी। जब कोल है, कोल फ्रॉम एक साइडिंग से मेरे पास सिंगरेनी साइडिंग है, सिंगरेनी साइडिंग से एनटीपीसी है 200 किलोमीटर। सो कितना किलोमीटर ट्रैवल किया ऑन एन एवरेज, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड लीड। तो द टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल बाय द कमोडिटी, that is called lead.
Yeah, next, S. Kumar. S. Kumar, please unmute. Yeah, next, Ajay Singh, please unmute.
गुड इवनिंग सर।
क्या गुड इवनिंग
सर, गुड्स अर्निंग में स्टैकिंग चार्जेस क्या होता है और ट्रिप चार्जेस?
स्टैकिंग चार्जेस होता है कि यदि आप कमोडिटी आके सपोज यू हैव ए बल्क कमोडिटी लाइक मेरे पास पॉट शिप्स है, आयरन ओर है, दे वांट टू लोड इन बल्क,
जी
बिकॉज बल्ब जैसा है बूट शेड में लोड करना मुश्किल होता है, बिकॉज साइडिंग में तो ऑटोमेटिक साइलो रहता है, डंप कर लेता है, बट बूट शेड में they need a plot, like they need a land where they should come and dump, because 3000 tons एक 4000 टन एक डंपर से लोड करना मुश्किल हो जाएगा, तो आके पहले वो स्टैकिंग परमिशन मांगेगा and on the railway land, so that is called stacking charges, permission.
अच्छा, और ट्रिप चार्जेस सर?
हाँ, ट्रिप चार्जेस बता रहा हूँ, ट्रिप इज अंडर डिफरेंट. सो व्हाट इज ट्रिप चार्जेस? सपोज साइडिंग इज नॉट नोटिफाइड ऑन थ्रू डिस्टेंस बेसिस. साइडिंग आपको मालूम है ना, जो थ्रू डिस्टेंस बेसिस होता है और जो नॉट थ्रू डिस्टेंस एंड थ्रू डिस्टेंस बेसिस. यू आर अवेयर नो दिस डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस टू? आई होप यू आर अवेयर. थ्रू डिस्टेंस बेसिस is nothing but a train travels directly to the siding up to the buffer end. एक गाड़ी अंदर चलेगा, डायरेक्ट साइडिंग के अंदर चलेगा without any engine reversal, something like that. Suppose it is not siding is not electrified, then engine has to be reversed and diesel engine लग के अंदर जाना है. So that siding we don't notify as through distance basis. So when the siding is not notified on through distance basis, so we calculate trip, what is trip timing taken from the serving station to the end of the siding. That's a buffer siding. So based on the trip charges, trip timings, we calculate the siding charges, and these siding charges are added to the freight. The freight is calculated up to the serving station. Serving station से फिर up to the end buffer end of the siding, this siding charges are added. That constitutes the total freight charges.
Sir, Subramanian sir, can you wind up? Sir, please unmute.
Yes, we can wind up. If there are any questions, I ask the participant to leave it in the chat box, so it can be, we can come back to your question and solve and answer whatever you have. So, sir, that was very informative. I think we will wind up the session. On behalf of the academy, I thank all the participants. I also thank the speaker of the day, Sri B.D. Christopher Garu, Deputy CCM. Thank you one and all. To remind, the topic for tomorrow will be books suspense head. Login timing is at 14:45 hours. And login class session will commence at 15 hours. Thank you one and all.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.